everybody. This is Aubrey with eXp Realty, and this is Liz Tomasula with USA Mortgage. So it is springtime and buyers are coming out looking. The market's getting hot now. So we wanted to talk about the pre-approval process and what things that you need to think of whenever you start to look for a house. On the realtor side, first step, contact your realtor. Hopefully that might be me. And then we go over some questions trying to determine where, when, what you're looking for. But ultimately, the next step is to talk to a lender and get pre-approved. So there's a few steps and things that lenders will ask for. And so I'm going to hand it over to Liz and she can tell you about that process.
Absolutely. So working together, we are going to have a list of documents that are going to be the most important. I have heard people say, why is there so much that you need to know? Well, we want to make sure that we're giving you the best qualification possible as far as the price point that you're looking for, making your offer the best to get accepted. And that is helped by you providing us income documents. Income is super important into getting qualified. And so being able to provide pay stubs helps us piece different things together that we might not get just from talking to your employer or just a conversation with you. And so being able to document all of this also helps the process as you're under contract and speeding everything else up throughout the way. So income documents are the most important. But then again, if you're self-employed at that point, taxes and W-2s, or you wouldn't have W-2s, but
your 1099s and
yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's where we can start piecing together exactly what did you make, what did you expense, what parts can we use towards your income and your DTI.
Yeah. So sometimes, because when we realtors work together with you and lenders very closely, and a lot of questions that we get asked, I was like, why are they asking for this? And I always tell people up front, it's not, the loan process can be fun, but it's kind of frustrating up front. You just have to get through that. The more prepared you are up front, the smoother the process goes. You know what I mean? With having your W-2s, having your tax forms. I know one time they asked a client of mine for their transcripts from college.
Yeah, because you can include college as your 2-year history. So if that is part of your job history, then that's going to be really important.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that that's why they were asking it. It was kind of odd. So
you can use high school transcripts as well.
I did not realize that.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if there's a very big gap and we have to be able to piece together an entire 2-year.
Okay.
We might go back to high school transcripts again.
Okay. Interesting. So how long does the loan or the pre-approval process take?
It depends on, are you paid salary? Are you paid the same amount, timing, all of that kind of thing, where we're not even trying to bring in any overtime or anything like that? That can go pretty quickly, a few hours. But then if we need to piece together tax statements and you're self-employed or you get paid a variable wage that might change from paycheck to paycheck, and we want to be able to include overtime or bonuses or things like that, then we need the time to get the documents from you first. And again, that comes back to how long does it take for us to be able to get those documents and then start calculating everything. So it's really a team effort for us all working together and being able to have the parts that we need to give you the best pre-qual.
Okay. And also it is, I'm glad that you said that, a team process. So it's you, me, and the buyers, and it's all cohesive, you know what I mean? And we're not pulling things or asking things that aren't necessary. So
exactly. Yes. We're not trying to make this difficult. We're trying to make it as smooth as possible.
So there are different programs out there. Sometimes it's first time home buyers programs. And I know that there are programs for that. And I do the quotes because I think in the past they were marketed as first time home buyer programs. Some of them are kind of geared towards that. But even if you've owned a home in the past and you've had a span of not owning a home, you can still apply for those first time programs, can't you?
Absolutely. As long as you've had a 3-year gap, you can apply for the programs that involve first-time home buyers. But then there's also some other low down payment options if you can go conventional, that you don't have to be a first time home buyer. They can still provide you the benefit of just a little bit down.
Okay. And one of the biggest misconceptions that I hear is people waiting to buy a house until they have enough down payment. So whenever I ask them how much they think that you have to have 20% down payment. So what types of percentages do you need for a down payment?
You can put down anywhere from 0% to as much as you want. Anything above 20% is going to have no mortgage insurance.
Okay.
So that's why that 20% tends to stick in people's minds. But by adding that in, and it can be not that much extra a month, it gives you the ability to put less down. So your VA loan, your USDA loan, those are going to be 0% down requirements. You can do 3% down with conventional. If you qualify, there are also 5% down minimums with conventional, and then FHA is 3.5%. So there are some smaller options, and then you can also get into down payment assistance programs that help provide and cover portions of those.
Okay, great. So I know that there are a lot of options out there for people. I know one program that you personally offer, like USA Mortgage offers, is something about like a 5,000 guarantee. Can you explain that a little bit to us?
Absolutely. So we put you through our full underwriting process, which is where we've gotten all of your documents up front. We go ahead and we send everything to underwriting and they approve you. And at that point, then we can give you a $5,000 guarantee that you can use towards making your offer. So when you're making your offer, this will be on the offer explaining to the seller that we will pay you $5,000 as long as we don't close on time if it's the fault of our own. So we know we've already protected you as the buyer by having all these documents and stuff up front. And the only other things then at that point would be seller, title, appraisal, those kind of issues. But as long as it's not us, we'll pay the seller $5,000, and then that way we are guaranteeing we know we'll close on time for you.
Okay.
It helps make people feel better because everyone's lining up their next deals based on the sale of their house.
Okay. No, that is true. That is true. And also with that program, correct me if I'm wrong, but are you able to close sooner because you already have them through like all of their documentation and underwriting somewhat? Is that the case?
Absolutely. So you could definitely put in a shorter time period in the contract, or we could get the clear to close early and then move the closing date at that point, whichever you prefer. But yeah, it's at that point, you're only waiting on title and appraisal.
Okay. And I know in today's market, we're still seeing multiple offers. This is springtime of 23. And that's still happening because inventory is still low. So that's a huge difference on having an edge over, possibly another buyer who hasn't done all those steps yet.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything that can help get you to the top.
Yes, exactly. Are there any other things with USA Mortgage that you would like us to know about?
Yeah, well, we also have an all cash offer. So going through the same process as before, you do have to have 10% down to qualify for this one and a 680 credit score. But given those items, we can make your offer a cash offer. So then you are rising above any other type of offer going down. And that might help out in other types of multiple offers or scenarios that it could be needed. So anything that we can do to help you look really great, that's what we're here to do for you.
Okay, awesome. Well, Liz, I didn't do an introduction in the beginning, but this is Liz Tomasulo with USA Mortgage in the Cincinnati area and Dayton area. And actually, you can do loans in other states as well, can't you?
I am. I'm licensed in the whole tri-state. So I've got you in Kentucky and Indiana as well, and then also Georgia.
All right, great. If anybody needs to get a hold of you, what's the best way to reach you?
My website is www.mortgageswithliz.com. That's Liz. And my cell phone is 770-843-3509. Those are the two best ways.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Liz.
Thank you.
Bye.